Okay, it's Toby from Heavyweight MMA today with Genghis Khan Deatta, Muay Thai fighter and MMA fighter. How are you, brother?
Yeah, very good, man. Living the dream.
Man, you came to my attention after a vicious win down in Perth on the last Eternal show, man. It was a great fight. How you feeling? It's been a good year for you.
Yeah, I'm feeling good, man. It's been a really, really good year. I've had 3 fights, 3 wins, 3 first-round stoppages. So this year was literally perfect in a way. I was going to have another one, would have been 4 because I had one in Dubai, but that fell through. But no, it's been a good year, and I can't wait to keep going next year and continuing the warpath.
I heard you mention in an interview earlier in the year that your plan was to win 4 fights in 2024 and challenge for the Eternal title, bro. That seems like you're well on track.
Yeah, so it was close to it. Like I said, I was going to have the 4th one in Dubai. Didn't have that one, and now it's 3. So I'm still keen to try and maybe. I've got an injury at the moment, so my left wrist has a tear, so I can't really hit on that for another 6 weeks. So it's probably 8 weeks actually. So it's probably going to take me to end of the year, and then hopefully in February we can try and go for a title shot. I did get offered the title shot for the one recent, the interim, but obviously injured, so I have to wait. And the next fight's going to be even harder, so I want to be 100% before I jump into that and start punching people 100% again.
Yeah, fair call, bro. But you don't actually need your wrist, bro. You still got your elbows. You got some vicious elbows on you, brother.
Yeah, well, I come from Muay Thai background, so elbow is my favorite, Knee and elbow, I believe, would be my favorite, yeah. So I always try and sneak an elbow in every fight if I can, and it's been happening recently, so it's good.
Maybe not the word sneaking an elbow in. You're not sneaking too much, bro. You're cracking fools, man. Some nice elbows, bro. It's beautiful to watch, It's kind of been good to watch your evolution a bit too, bro, because from your first fight against John Fraser, each fight you could see a bit of evolution. It felt like you were still getting your footing a little bit in those first couple of fights, and then suddenly it felt like you kind of switched on when you fought a guy, Anthony, someone. I could see you just switch on that fight. You could see the beast starting to come out,
Yeah. I think for me it just takes a while. I need to build some confidence. When I was a Muay Thai fighter, I had the same thing. I kind of had a slow start. I lost my first 3 in Muay Thai, but then after that it was 7 in a row. So I think for me it just takes time to get that confidence and obviously learn a different martial arts and then take off from there. But now I'm definitely feeling a lot more confident. My grappling is getting better all the time. So no, I'm definitely ready to fucking go 100% all at it.
How did it feel to switch from your standard Muay Thai glove to the small MMA gloves? Is that a good thing for you or a bad thing, or how did it feel?
Well, it's a bit different. Obviously in Muay Thai we have big gloves, so you can use these big gloves and you can kind of just cover up and have it on top of your head and kind of just take more punches. But with the MMA gloves, they're so small, so it's a lot different. So the transition from doing that to that was pretty major, more head movement, more boxing style. But I definitely think I enjoy the smaller gloves more. I mean, you can get a lot more damage with the smaller gloves, so I do like it.
And then transitioning from being stand-up based to mixed martial arts, man, how have you found picking up the grappling?
Yeah, so actually at the start, I didn't like it at all. I didn't like grappling because I was just obviously bad at it at the start. Over the years and years that I've gone over, I've slowly started liking it more and more and more, which now I nearly like it just as much as striking. Never be as much as striking, because striking, I think people want to see more striking anyway. It's more entertaining for fighters. But definitely like grappling more and more and more, and I've been working on it hard, especially the wrestling. So.
It's a weird thing, right? You came up, I heard you mention, you came up in kickboxing when you were a teenager. Muay Thai fights, was it 28 fights you said? Had a few fights there. To suddenly be able to change the range so much, it's a strange thing, right? It's such a different range, different feeling to be grappling, yeah?
Oh, it's completely different, man. It's a whole different energy system as well. So it can be super draining when you're wrestling to striking. Obviously in striking, you're just striking, so the energy system's the same. But when you got the wrestling to striking to grappling, it comes a lot harder, And obviously 5-minute rounds in MMA as well. They're a bit longer on the round as well.
Yeah, man. Hey, back to that fight that I watched you fight. You're on Perth Eternal 87, HBF Stadium against James McBride, man. Are you happy with that fight? You kind of cracked him with the elbow again to finish him, right? Was that I think you lined him up on the ground and elbowed him, right, from memory?
Yeah, so in that fight, I had a bit of a sore hand before that fight. So I think I was on the side of the ropes and I was throwing the left hand just trying to get the ref to stop it because he was just covering up, not doing much. And then the left hand was starting to hurt. So then I was like, well, the elbow doesn't hurt. So I kind of just stood over him and then just put a big elbow to try and finish him, which he did drop quite a bit. But give it to him. He was a tough bloke, man. He kind of like come back up again and he still wanted to take more damage and go again. So, but I mean, I think that was the start of the end kind of thing, and the ref kind of saw it one way, so they called it.
Yeah, man. That whole performance by you, the crowd energy, the walkout track backbone, just awesome, bro. That was like, for me, maybe probably close to fight of the night for me, man. Just the entrance, the energy that you had, and you were going out there to kill. Like I said about your evolution, the first fights you didn't have that tenacity, right? But that tenacity's built up, and you look like you want to fucking slaughter people out there now.
Yeah, like that's the kind of like my nickname, Genghis Khan and stuff as well, and like my dad loved him, and I believe like if I want to have a name called Genghis Khan, I've got to go out there and fucking really put it on people as well. So, but that's the style I like to have anyway. Just kind of go hard all 3 rounds and see what happens from there.
Yeah, man, and obviously you had a pretty strong crowd support as well. I'd say you and what's his name, Frank the Tank.
Yeah.
Frank the Tank. You guys both kind of stole the crowd for the night.
Yeah. He had a bloody good fight as well, comeback fight. That was a brilliant fight to watch. And there was some other good stuff like Jack Becker had a good knockout and stuff like that. It was a good card, eh? It was
Yeah. I was actually over there. I came over there for the first time to Perth and came to watch you guys and then watch UFC the day after. So that was a good weekend, eh? Man, I mentioned I actually had a chat with Frank yesterday, and he was saying how good support it is over there. But we're talking about all the boys coming up in Perth, man. They're saying, what is it in the water over there, bro? Lots of champions, lots of eternal contenders coming up from Perth, right?
Yeah, I think it's like when I started MMA about 5 years ago or so, like it wasn't as big, and I think like the Eternal was still at like the Italian club, so like obviously there's only like 6, 7, 800 people that go to those, and now just from my first fight all the way to this last one, like it's just grown and grown and grown. And HBF Stadium is such a good place to have a fight as well. It's like crazy atmosphere, the lights are good, there's like way more people, so it's growing and growing, and I think that's why all the people now are starting to realize like you can make it from Perth, you can get there to UFC or one championship or whatever you try to go for, it's possible.
Yeah, for sure. And you've got you guys like Stephen Erseg and
You just cut out.
Name out there.
Yeah, and obviously you got Drillich. I think he fights next Tuesday from Scrappy as well. Yeah. He's a killer, and I have no doubt that he's going to be right up there in the UFC as well. So Perth is coming hard.
On that, I went to Drillich Academy when I came over there. They had an open mat, so I just joined in an open mat with his brother. They're top gym, man. Nice guys over there.
Yeah, super nice dudes. I actually haven't been to that gym yet. I've always been meaning to go down there and have a bit of a training session because it's not too far. Because I'm more north. I live in Warwick, which is like closer to Joondalup, but my gym is Scrappy, and that's in Willerton. So, but I definitely should get down there. Looks like a good gym.
And on that, man, the Scrappy, talk about the gym, bro. Obviously, I've talked to a few guys that have been down there, Jack and that, and Rod and a few other guys that have something to do with it. But tell me about the gym, like how is it and how do you find the training there? Who's the best training partners, coaches, etc.?
Yeah, so the gym's like top notch, like has to be best gym in Australia, I believe anyway. I'm a bit biased, I train there obviously, but I've trained at lots and lots of gyms all over the world. Thailand gyms. I've been all over Australia and trained at a few gyms, and I've had lots of gyms in WA, blah, blah, blah. But it's just every time you go there, like it's a real hard session. Everyone's pushing everyone, and everyone's on the same path. And obviously the coaching as well. Like you got Ryan Gray, Darcy, Ben, Josh Della, and more, and there's more as well. And like the coaching's amazing, and I just feel like everyone really cares, everyone really wants to see you get to the next level. So everyone's pushing you and pushing you. So, it's definitely the best gym I've trained at. The hardest.
Awesome.
It's starting to show anyway, because every fight now I'm getting better and better and better. And yeah, that's just the coach.
Have you done a lot of rounds with Jack?
Yeah, so yeah, obviously Jack, Jack is my main sparring partner. He's been injured for the last this year, so I haven't got as much training with him. But yeah, he's one of the strongest and one of the best guys I have ever trained with. So, and I've trained with a lot of good dudes as well. And yeah, he's number one. So,
out of interest, like, what is it about Jack that makes him exceptional?
I think he's just so casual and so chill, and he's just like, he comes to training all the time, and he doesn't say too much, but he just gets into it, man. And definitely his strength as well. Like, I believe I'm a pretty strong guy, but like he's a strong dude, man. He has that extra strength there. Just like when you saw him fight Gilbert Burns, you know, how he just kind of scrambled up, still looked all good, and finish him with a knee. You know, he's got that extra into it.
That's it, man. And you just said about training around the world, man. Like, you've trained in Thailand. That was probably exclusively Muay Thai, yeah? Where else have you trained around Australia and in the world?
No, so I've also, like, in Thailand, I've trained at Bang Tao. So last year I was at Bang Tao for, 3 months I was there. So that was really, really good experience. Like, I was training with guys like Yuri, Praska, other guys that are in like the PFL, like John, and a couple other guys that is high level Muay Thai fighters. So like to go to Thailand and do a Bang Tao trip for 3 months, that was really, really good just to get new training partners. Because sometimes you have the same ones at home, but it's good to change it a bit to get different styles. But yeah, I've been training all over Australia too. Like, I used to go to Melbourne and stuff for fights. So I'd train like in like Muay Thai gyms, more Muay Thai gyms over there and stuff. But no, yeah, mostly obviously in Perth as well, like the Thai boxing pit. I was a Muay Thai fighter there with Toby Smith for a while. That was really good to get rounds with him all the time. He was one of my main sparring partners back in the day. And had other gyms as well, like St. Moricott, Westside Kickboxing. I've been to a fair few gyms, like it's hard to remember all the ones that I've trained at, but yeah, they've all been really good.
Yeah, man. That the Bang Tao one, I went there took the family for a holiday. Just happened to be in Bang Tao. Wow, we're in Bang Tao. I might as well go train. So I always set the training like near some good gym just to go train at. So I did a little bit of training with Brad Riddell. Did you train with Brad at all there?
Yeah, I did heaps of his classes. I didn't do any one-on-ones, but like he was always walking around giving me a few pointers and stuff. So I did train a bit with him. Yeah, it was good. And like all the coaches there are really good. Like when Frank was there last year, like me, Frank, and Yuri Proska were doing rounds together, and he was helping me out. Like, obviously, he was training Yuri for his fight. I think he was fighting Alex Pereira at the time coming up. So it's just awesome to get like those kind of guys in the room and kind of feel how good they are and feel what they train like, you know. And then you can kind of get a good understanding of like where you sit with your level of training.
Yeah. And like you said, the different looks you get, like that's a big thing. Dan Hooker, all these guys, Kai Kara France, all the guys all spent a lot of time over there. Back then it was in Tiger Muay Thai and that, right, training, but they got all those good looks from different people from different parts of the world with different styles, and it helps you once you get up to the next level and start facing international opponents, right?
Yeah, 100%, man. Like I was training with so I won't say any names or nothing, but like, I was training with like other welterweights and stuff at Bang Tao or whatever, and like other middleweights and stuff, and I felt like I was just as good, if not better, you know. Like, so I believe I could be in the UFC now if I wanted to be. I just need to win those next fights and make it to that next level, kind of thing. But I believe the level with UFC sometimes, yeah.
The question I have, man, like you guys, like you always say, a lot of the guys in Australia say my gym's all I need. I don't need to train anywhere else. But the only question I kind of have with Australian MMA is we're obviously very stand-up oriented as a general sort of rule, you know. It's changing over the years, but in general, we still don't have that depth in traditional like wrestling and that. And you could see like the example of the guy we just mentioned, Frank the Tank was fighting a guy called Colton Kilbasa, and he's obviously a gun wrestler. And he was held down for a lot. He came through and he caught the guy at the end, but a lot of the fight was controlled by Colton. And do you think that's something that you need to improve personally, to do more wrestling with people, or that do you think it got it all covered like in Australia?
I believe like with the guys that I have in Australia, like we have a lot of good dudes. Like there's a lot of good grapplers at my gym and stuff, and like Jack. And like, I mean, for instance, like Jack's wrestling's pretty damn good, man. And like, like obviously in the last one with Gilbert, he didn't match it, but he still come back and he still got the win and stuff. So I believe like you can do it here. It's fine. It's up to you. But,
Yeah.
I mean, it's obviously going to be a little bit of an advantage if you can go to other places and train with other guys as well. Because then the more people, the more experience, obviously you're going to get better. And that's how you get better, by training with more people.
Yeah. Hey, bro, you've just cut out for a sec. I can't hear at the moment, right, bro? Has something happened to your phone or something? I just can't hear you right now. Can't hear you, bro. It suddenly cut out. I'm not sure why. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, bro? Maybe if you can hear me, maybe log out and log back in or something. See if it works.
Oh, there you go. Now it's got
I got you, bro. All right, cool.
Sorry,
Yeah, I couldn't hear you.
Cut off about 3
Yeah, I
minutes.
was just saying I couldn't
talking.
hear you. You were talking for a while, and then it clicked and it stopped for a second. But yeah,
We're back on.
so we're out. I'll cut that little bit out anyway, man. Hey, so on the overseas stints of training, have you actually had a chance to fight overseas at all?
Yeah, so I've had quite a few Muay Thai fights. So I started Muay Thai when I was like 14, and I ended up having my first fight when I was 15. And then from there on, fell in love with it. And I used to go to Thailand all the time. I've already spent, I don't know, like a year and a half in Thailand during my whole Thailand trips. But yeah, I've had quite a few fights in Phuket. I also went and fought Lumpinee Boxing Stadium, the brand new one in Bangkok. So I had a fight there with a French guy, which I got that win. But yeah, I had quite a few fights around Thailand, yeah. No MMA, just Muay Thai.
That's kind of cool, like sets you up for the future. But you're just saying about Lumpinee, this weekend, I know a guy you're familiar with, Mini T, is fighting over in Bangkok Lumpinee Stadium on Saturday morning. So it's going to be kind of cool.
Oh yeah, that's this Saturday, isn't it? This Saturday, right? Yeah, that would be awesome. I mean, I think he's had a bit of time off and stuff. Not too sure what's up with him. I think he's training at Romel's for this camp and stuff. So I wish him all the best, and I reckon he'll get the job done. He's looking good.
Yeah, bro. I talked to him like a week or so ago, and because I'm in China, it's not so far away from Thailand. I'm going to pop over just to watch him because he seems like such a good guy. So I thought it's good to run over and give him a bit of support, you know.
Yeah, he's such a genuine guy. It was cool. There wasn't too long ago. So last year, I think it was a Muay Thai fight he had. Oh no, it wasn't him. Sorry, it was Jordan Gobson. But I think Dan was coming over. But we ended up flying from Phuket to Bangkok to support Jordan in his Muay Thai fight. So that was pretty entertaining. Bangkok's a pretty crazy place. Not a place I like to go to, but if someone's fighting or something, why not?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll be over there checking him out. It's good. Bro, can you tell me about your training? Like, what's your general sort of schedule in and out of camp? Like, how many days a week you train? How do you sort of mix up between different skill sets and that?
Yeah, so sometimes it changes. Obviously, depends who you're fighting and stuff, and you're trying to put more work in. Like, if you're a grappler, you obviously do your defense more and stuff, your wrestling. But in general, we train at Scrappy every day at 9:30, and we usually train from 9:30 to about 11:30. So around that 2-hour gap in the morning, that's a must. You must train. It's a protein training. You get most of your sparring and all your live rounds there. And then in the afternoon, I'll usually try and hit cardio or hit more like jiu-jitsu or a wrestling session or sometimes just a pad session in the afternoon, depending how the body is. I'm a huge believer of like, you got to look after your body because there's no point in training it like if you're sore as hell, there's no point going 100%, So it all depends with your body as well. But yeah, every day, usually about 2 hours in the afternoon, and then in the morning 2 hours, and in the afternoon we usually train for an hour and a half, 2 hours, depending on what you're doing. Yeah, usually twice a day, bro, and then sometimes you have like a stretching session or a mobility session midday. So yeah, 2 to 3 times a day kind of thing when I'm camps on.
Yep. And everyone's doing these different things like your ice bars and saunas and everything like that. Is there anything special like that you do that kind of helps you out?
Ooh. So I'm interesting. Yeah, I'm actually flat out at the moment because I'm building a business at my house, and I've actually got like a recovery center at my house being built at the moment. So I'm going to have like traditional. I'm going to have infrared saunas. I'm going to have ice bath, compression boots, massage guns. So I'll have pretty much everything in my house, and I always sauna and I always ice bath. I'm a massive believer. It makes me feel good, makes me recover faster. So
Yeah. Yeah, I've been doing the sauna for a long time. I really believe in it too, man. I feel like it helps my immunity especially. I feel like I don't get sick as often when I'm doing regular sauna, you know?
yeah, 100%. I think it's just good to detox all the time, you know, because obviously you like some of the stuff you eat or something, or the pollution, and
Yeah.
even the water you drink and stuff. It's good to get that.
Hey, bro, you know more than me. The infrared sauna. There's one at one of my works here, and I've used it. It doesn't feel the same because it's not hot. Like, you know, you go to a steam sauna, it just destroys you. You feel good that you're sweating and everything. But the infrared one isn't so hot. Is it still beneficial?
Well, yeah, like infrared and traditional. So traditional is hotter and you sweat faster. But what I've been told is like with traditional, you're just sweating more water. But if it's an infrared, it's like getting deeper into the pores. It's not as hot, so it takes longer to sweat. But once you do sweat, apparently you sweat more toxins, more bad metals out of the body. Like, for instance, yeah, traditional, it's just more water pouring out. It's still obviously detoxing, but infrared it differently, and you get more bad all the toxins and all that shit out of your body.
Yeah. Yeah. And bro, what about supplementation? Any tricks or anything that you have to achieve your goals using supplementation?
Well, creatine usually every day, because creatine's very researched, and like I've always read good things, and obviously helps the recovery as well. And then I usually go like a protein powder. I try and keep it pretty simple. Sometimes I'll do vitamin D. I reckon vitamin D in winter is a lot better, because obviously in summer you go to the beach all the time, you get more vitamin D. But I believe like vitamin D is very big, so I'll take some vitamin D. And also I take like a hydrogen tablet in the morning as well, just to keep the body hydrated and stuff like that. But apart from that, bro, just good food is the main thing. You can get everything from your food as well. So
Yeah. I talked about it with someone the other day. There's the basics of the key, right? Good food, good rest in between training.
Yeah. Well, the thing with like recovery, like everyone's like, oh, you can do all these different things for recovery, but like, what's the number one thing for recovery? What do you think the number one is?
Yeah, it has to be sleeping and eating the right things too, right?
Correct. Sleep is number one. Like, you used to hear like Khabib, when he would train, like he would train in the morning, he'd come home and he'd sleep every day. He would nap every day for an hour or an hour and a half or whatever every day, because then your recovery is going to be a lot faster, right? So when I'm heavy into camp, I usually try and nap as well, and about the day after. So.
Yeah, pretty heavy on the body, so you need to. Bro, just one last question, man. I usually ask people this one, just about advice that you'd give someone that wants to be a professional fighter or just wants to achieve something in life. Like, what's the best path, brother?
I believe it's like with anything, it's all a mindset. So I think you need to like kind of tame the mind and learn discipline. I think with anything it's good, but obviously martial arts is a really good discipline one. So I think you just need to work on maybe even some meditation and relaxing the brain, just kind of focusing on what's important instead of focusing on too many things. I think in life, when I start to focus on too many things, things just kind of get a bit messy. I think when I'm focusing on like the more important things, don't forget about the other things that aren't too important, you're going to succeed. So just focus on a few things, not too many things, will get you far.
Cool. All right, man. Hey, one other question too. Those vicious elbows that you got to the ring, have you ever used them outside of the ring?
No, I've never elbowed. Like, I'm pretty good, man. Like, I don't believe in, like, obviously I'm a professional fighter. I don't believe in going out and starting anything. So I never go out and, if anything happens, I always try and usually talk my way out of it first, because that's the smartest thing to do, right? And, so I never really had too many street fights, or never used the elbows. When I was a kid, like at school, I had a couple, but no elbows in the street.
Yeah. Fair enough. Just wondering what that'd shock someone if you threw them at them. Yeah. All right, bro.
Oh, man. It would shock them.
Man, it's been good to watch your evolution, brother. It's been good to see you have a great 2024, and I'm looking forward to seeing you challenge for a title late this year, early next year, whenever they can give it to you, bro.
Yeah, thank you very much, bro. And that title will come, and I can't wait, bro. It's going to be a good year next year.
Cool. Awesome, man. Thanks for your time, man.
Thank you very much, man. Thank you.
Cheers, bro. Thanks, bro.